Good evening, everybody. My name is Christopher Plonker. I am the chairman for the Lakeville Finance Committee. This is the November 6th, 2023 meeting. In attendance, we have member Maureen Candido, member Larry Constant, and member Darren Beals. And we do have a quorum, so let's begin the meeting. Per the posting, we have two items for tonight. We are going to vote on the 10 articles that were discussed last week at the select board meeting. Those articles will be voted on next week at the special town meeting. The second item on the agenda for this evening will be a review and vote on the July 10 meeting minutes, which I distributed to all the members back last month on the 25th. Okay, with that, I am not going to read any of the articles. A summary was provided by our town administrator, Ari Sky. All members have received that. And also, Ari, for the record, did offer to attend the meeting tonight. However, the offer was declined as either the members had attended the meeting last week with the select board meeting, or if the member had not attended, then they'd watched it remotely. I think that was the case for you, Darren. So you're up to speed on all the
That's
articles.
correct.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, Darren. It'll save us some time tonight, and also, avoid having Ari spend some more time with us because he doesn't spend enough time with us, right? Okay, so let's get right to it. I'm going to remind the member, well, for the newer members, we kind of have a policy that per the town charter, excuse me, per the town charter, we are required to review the articles and vote on our recommendation for each article. However, we do have the flexibility to have no recommendation. So we have done that previously. And I'm going to continue with that tonight. If anybody has an objection to that, let me know. And let me just clarify that. So if an article does not have a budget impact or financial related impact, then we will vote. The vote will be for a no recommendation. And that's typically held for a lot of the zoning article changes. Typically would be a no recommendation on that. Okay, everybody in agreement with that?
Yes.
Okay, let's begin. So again, everybody should have the article summary in front of them. I am not going to read anything, so let's start with Article 1. Do we have a motion on Article 1? Oh, Maureen, you're on mute. You're on mute, Maureen.
I think we have to read the summary.
I can do that.
I'll be happy to read them out if you want me to. I think it's for the sake of the meeting minutes.
Fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. If you don't mind, Maureen, if you want to take.
I'll just I love to talk, so I'll just share.
I had notes. No, I'm kidding. I'll hand it to you, Maureen. Go ahead. Article 1.
Article 1, to see if the town will vote to transfer the sum of $452.46 from park retained earnings to pay for the following unpaid bill from the prior fiscal year, or take any action in relation to thereto. And it's one item: parks high vis and work gear for $452.46 for staff t-shirts.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay. And the motion is to recommend approval. We have a second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor of recommending approval for Article 1? Maureen?
Aye. Candido, aye.
Larry?
Larry Constant, aye.
Darren?
Beals, aye.
And Plunker, aye. Thank you. Article 2, Maureen?
If the town will vote to raise and appropriate from taxation the sum of $69,770 to supplement the appropriations stated below that were previously voted on in Article 1 of the May 8th, 2023 annual town meeting for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023 for various town departments, or take any action in relation to thereto. Line 1, select board salaries, $2,250 for compensation for the 4th and 5th board members. Item 2, select board expenses, $6,222 for expended board startup costs. And line number 7 for assessor salaries, $13,800 for increased staffing hours. Next page. Line 34, fire salaries for $40,000 for emergency overtime. Line 72, risk management expenses, $7,500 for a premium increase for a total of $69,770.
Great. Thank you, Maureen. Do we have a motion for Article 2?
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Yes.
Do we separate each one of these lines or do we do them as a bulk?
Will as a bulk. I think it was noted last week that a citizen could make a motion during a special town meeting to amend that. Is that correct?
I believe it was 7 citizens had to vote for it, if that's correct, Katie?
Yes, so we would need someone to make a motion to consider these to separate or to divide, a motion to divide. Town bylaw allows for this if 7 people agree. So I would ask 7 people to stand up from their seats holding their yes card. If we get those 7, then we would consider each of these separately.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you. So moved.
Okay, and we have second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion is to recommend approval for Article 2. Maureen?
Candido, aye.
Larry?
Costant, aye. Beals, aye.
And Blanca, aye. Thank you. Article 3.
To see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash the sum of $171,500 and $30,000 from solid waste retained earnings for the capital projects stated below, anything incidental or related thereto, or take any other action in relation thereto. Line 1, facilities, Betty's Neck improvements, $70,000. Line 2, do we want to talk about these individually if anyone wants to talk, or just talk at the end? If anyone wanted to.
We could save it till the end, please.
Okay. Line 2, facilities, town hall security, $30,000. Line 3, police, boat motor replacement, $19,000. Line 4, public works, MS4 permitting engineering, $52,500. Line 5, transfer station, brush tree removal for $30,000, totaling a sum of $201,500.
Thank you. Do we have a motion for Article? Any discussions? Any questions? Okay. Do we have a motion for Article 3?
Lawrence, you want to make a motion and then I'll second it?
Oh, sorry.
We'll keep with that.
Sorry. Motion to recommend approval.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Maureen?
Candido, aye.
Larry?
Costant, aye.
Beals,
aye.
And Plucker, aye. Thank you. Article 4.
Article 4, to see if the town will vote to transfer from free cash the sum of $2,150,000 for the purpose of adding debt service / capital project stabilization fund pursuant to the provisions of MGL Chapter 40, Section 5B, or take any action relative thereto.
Thank you. Motion to recommend approval for Article 4.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Maureen?
Conversation. Just want it noted in the record that I would love to see this not go to specific capital projects that may increase the budgetary constraints that we're already on, but for more stabilization of existing budget concerns and future concerns on the increases that we're going to see relative to the operating budget due to having a new fire station and other new facilities in town. Just as a record, I just wanted to speak that. But yes. That's
Noted.
all.
I think you did. That is noted. Thank you, Maureen. I think you did. You note that last week too, if I recall.
I did note it, but we weren't in session, so I don't know, what came in the.
Yep, that's fair. Okay, thank you. I believe we have a motion on the floor. Was it seconded?
Yes, second.
Okay, good. Maureen,
Candido, aye.
Larry,
Fosdan, aye.
Aaron,
Beals, aye.
and Plunker, aye. Thank you. Article 5.
Article 5, to see if the town will vote to transfer from available funds in the Community Preservation Fund the following amounts for projects as recommended by the Community Preservation Committee, with each item to be considered a separate appropriation. Line 1, Cemetery Commission, gravestone repairs for $10,000. It's coming from the funding source is reserved for historic resources. Line 2, Historic Commission, Historic Town Hall roof replacement, $30,000. 12,106.62 of the reserves are coming from historic resources, and 17,893.38 are coming from undesignated fund balance. Line 3, Park Commission, John Pond Park engineering and architectural plans for improvements, 25,000. And the funding source here is 22,106.62 reserved for open space, and 2,893.38 undesignated fund balance, for a total of $65,000.
Thank you. Motion to recommend approval of Article 5.
So moved,
Second.
Conversation?
Sure.
please.
So on line 2 for the historic townhouse, after speaking to various people at town hall and some various constituents in town, so just folks rather, the amount that we're appropriating there it seems over inclusive for what the need is with the whole project. If I understand it correctly, the project should come in at $50,000 based on what former Selectman LaCamera had said at the last meeting. And then a contingency would be somewhere around 20%. So this seems like rather overkill. Madam Moderator, the question to you is, can the Finance Committee, if they are so inclined, recommend to vote a lower number at this point, or does that have to be done on town floor?
It has to be done on town floor. So what you would do is just submit an amendment.
Yep, thank you. That is my that's my call out there for item number 2. And item number 3, my call out for the park is this is for engineering for John Pond Park for architectural plans and improvements. I had listened to Ari and various stakeholders on what was the outcome of this, and I'm still not clear on what the funding source would be after this was actually fully realized. So just to throw that out there for the group to have discussion on.
Yeah, I have questions about just the overall expense. What is it they're looking to plan? It just says engineering architectural plans for what? To do what? Does it need a new field? Does it need what's it need?
According to the conversation we had, it was around facilities structure, meaning restrooms, wash stations, and that was my understanding, because they don't have potable water there currently with the current well.
Right. I believe there was a discussion also about tying into town water.
Yeah, it's town water.
Yeah, through Blueberry Estates.
Correct.
Yeah, and having Taunton water come through.
All right, well, again, it has to be done on the floor anyhow, so.
Right. Okay, we have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. Maureen?
Candido, aye.
Larry?
Fosdan, aye.
Darren?
Beals, aye.
And Plugger, aye. Thank you. Article 6.
To see if the town will vote to amend Chapter 2 of the town's general bylaws, town meetings, Chapter 74, in the town code voted at May 8, 2023 annual town meeting. to change the date of the annual town meeting to the second Monday in June, and to change the date for submission for warrant articles for the annual town meeting to the second Monday of April as shown below, with additions in bold and deletions in strike through. Said change to take effect 2024 annual town meeting, and further the town clerk be permitted to make non-substantive changes to the numbering of this bylaw in order that it be in compliance with the numbering format of the Code of Lakeville as voted at the May 8, 2023 annual town meeting when said code takes effect, or there's a typo there just in case, or take any other action relative thereto.
Mr. Chair, can I make a motion to make no recommendation on this?
Yeah, I was, excuse me, brother, I'm recovering from a cold, so I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah, I was debating on whether or not I think that there'll be no cost impact to that by just shifting a date around.
They're just moving a date.
Right.
I get why they're doing it. I think that the purpose of this, if I remember saying, if I recall the conversation, was really to push it out further because they needed more time for budgeting because of the delay in the state. Was that how we remembered that?
That is correct.
Yeah, and to say there's no dollar implication is correct, but to say there couldn't be a cost implication might not be correct, because if we were to wait to the July 1st, say we didn't have a quorum and it was scheduled for the second week in June, when 1st of July came, we'd be operating without a budget. So there could be a significant impact there. We've had a few meetings in the last dozen years where we haven't had a quorum. So it's a real possibility. Not a probability, but a possibility. And there would be financial impact at that time. But you're right, there's not a dollar value associated with it.
We just got to make sure there's a confrontational article on, and we'll make sure everybody shows up.
Lower the quorum to 3. Everyone shows up.
So yeah, that's I get Maureen's point.
Right.
I get Maureen's point, but you know, it's up to us, you guys.
I don't know. Let's vote on a recommend. There's a potential budget impact. Indirect, let's say it's an indirect impact. It's not a direct. So I'll make the motion will be to recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Maureen.
Nay. Candido.
Larry.
Constant nay.
Darren.
Beals, aye.
And Plunker is aye.
It's a stalemate.
Oops.
Katie.
Where's Katie when you need her?
Katie, what do we do when we have a tie? Do we recommend or not recommend based on the tie?
You will have to say that the finance committee was tied.
Okay, I guess there it is. Could not reach a decision, I guess.
Sounds good.
Okay, noted. Okay, so the last 3 articles 8, 9, and 10 are all zoning. Very long. Maureen, I don't think you want to read all that.
If we're not making a recommendation either way, then probably no.
Right. So for Article 8,
we had 7 first, right?
7.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't say. Go ahead, Maureen. Article 7.
To see if the town will vote to amend the Lakeville general bylaws by adding the following new section, fire alarm system bylaw, to provide as follows, and further the town clerk be permitted to assign such numbering and make non-substantive changes to the format of this bylaw in order that it be in compliance with the numbering format in the version of the town bylaws currently in effect and or in the Code of Lakeville as voted at the May 8, 2023 annual town meeting, when said code takes effect.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to vote. We're going to vote on a recommendation because this has a potential impact in terms of fees collected and so forth. So the vote is to recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
Maureen.
Candido, aye.
Larry.
Constant aye.
Darren.
Beals, aye.
And Plunker, aye. Thank you. Okay, now on to Article 8. So Articles 8, 9, and 10 all deal strictly with zoning changes, with no direct budget impact. So for Article 8, the vote is to the vote is no recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Maureen,
Candido, I.
Larry,
Austin, aye.
Darren,
Beals, aye.
and Blunker, aye. Same with Article 9. The vote is to no recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Maureen,
Candido, I.
Larry,
Austin, aye.
Darren,
Beals, aye.
and Blunker, aye. And our last article, Article number 10, again, this is another zoning bylaw change. Vote is for no recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Maureen,
Candido, I.
Larry,
Austin, aye.
Darren,
Beals, aye.
and Blunker, aye. Thank you. Okay, so the second item and the last item on the agenda, unless there's any new business, meeting minutes. They were the July 10 meeting minutes. I distributed them on October 25. Do I have a motion to recommend approval of the July 10 meeting minutes?
Make a recommendation to approve.
Second.
Okay, Maureen?
Chair,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was not present at that meeting, so I'm going to abstain if that's possible.
Absolutely. Yep, you could do that. Okay.
Candido, I.
Okay. Larry, go ahead, Larry, you're abstaining.
Abstain.
Okay. Darren?
Beals, aye.
And Blunker, aye. Okay. That passes. Okay, so are there any other I do have just one reminder. Did anybody else have anything before we conclude the meeting?
Just to let you know, the town moderator has left.
Thank you. She's left the room.
She's left the building.
She's left the building, yeah.
That's all I meant to say. Thank you. We all get it. Thank
Not necessarily Darren, just the room.
you. For the record, thank you. Okay, so reminder on December 4 is going to be that budget kickoff that we will be participating in this year. That is Ari and Todd's budget. I call it a kickoff, but it's a budget presentation that Ari and Todd, town accountant, are going to present to the select board as well as the finance committee. I'm excited that we are part of that very important discussion, that we are a part of it this year. And Ari's going to present budget guidance, objectives, fiscal constraints, and so forth. And that'll be an opportunity. And Maureen, I know you've had some questions. This will be a great opportunity to ask those questions to Ari and Todd.
I appreciate it.
Do we have time and location yet, Chair?
Do not have that yet. Most likely be the police station. Hasn't been posted yet. Once we get closer, once the Ari or select board chair passes along to me, I will pass it along to the committee.
I'll just put 6 o'clock as a whole.
Yeah, put it standard. Yeah, that's probably it. But if it changes, as soon as they get confirmation, you guys will be the first to know. Okay, anybody else have any other new business?
Nope.
Great. I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay.
I got you. I got it there.
You beat me. You beat third. Can I do third? No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Feels
opposed?
aye.
I like saying that. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night. Thanks again for your time.
Take care.